Look for me out wider.
Whereabouts?
Maybe I'm out wider than you. This is the first time I've worn this life jacket in a while, and I must have put on weight because the fucking thing's that tight on me. Typical planning that goes bad. My shocks have no battery, so I'll show you how I'm calling Perth. I'm literally just going, hey Siri, call Perth. All right, so basically today I'm diving into what preparation it takes to do long distance downwind foiling. And I've been lucky enough to receive a stationary bike from YESOUL. It is the G1M Plus YESOUL bike. So basically this stationary bike is for me to train my legs and my cardio to stay in zone 2. Zone 2 is basically 70% of your max heart rate. So if you're not totally in tune with how your body works, I would highly recommend getting a Garmin watch or an Apple watch that kind of tracks your heart rate. You can also buy third party or external chest strap for your heart, which is way more accurate. I've got one of them. It's actually another Garmin product as well, and it links to your phone or your watch automatically. But basically, you know, whether you're training or foiling, you can kind of understand where your max heart rate is. And for a lot of people, it's roughly 170, 180. You know, some freaks can go over 200, and some people's max heart rates are like 150. But what you're trying to do is rest your heart rate in that zone 2, which is 70% of your max. So say mine is 180, 185 when I'm really pushing. I would want to train myself on this stationary bike to sit at about 150. You know, even though sometimes when you're downwinding, 150 is not where your heart is. Sometimes if you're super cool, collected, you're riding the right gear and the conditions are good, you can be cruising at less than 100 beats per minute. So it's so hard to train for downwind foiling, but I think what's really cool if you can't actually go out there and foil is that you can use, you know, things like this that you're training for, say, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but you're just sitting your heart rate in that zone 2. And that's kind of where you want to be, I reckon, because if you can make your heart rate sit at 70% of your max heart rate for a longer period of time, that's kind of replicating what we're doing in the water when we're downwind foiling. I personally don't like exercising like this. I would much rather go out and do the real thing. But realistically, to be able to do an hour of downwind foiling every day is not really achievable by most. You know, the logistics are hard, and sometimes you're lucky if you get out there and you can get 30 minutes of foiling. And that's kind of where I like to cross train a bit as well, because I love this bike. If the conditions are bad, you can just hop on it whenever. You'll see in a sec that I can stream through the TV here. I can just chuck on YouTube or Netflix and just watch a show. And you know, like, you can probably hear me puffing now. I'm getting to that heart rate. I can see on my watch, I'm starting to get up to 120. But even saying like 150 is still pretty bloody high. I kind of reckon maybe 120, 130. That's kind of where you want to be. But I think what's great about the bike is that it really is training your quads, your butt, your calves, and these are all the muscles that you use when you're downwind foiling. Okay, I'm starting to get a bit sweaty here trying to do this talking and exercising and filming. But what's great too You got to keep yourself hydrated, similar to when you're on the water and you're using a safety life jacket. Have your water included in the jacket. Make sure it's got electrolytes in it. You know, drinking water just by itself is not really going to hydrate you, especially in salty, hot conditions. You're going to get dehydrated faster than you can hydrate yourself. So make sure you got good electrolytes in your water. But yeah, like the main thing with this stationary bike is just being able to keep fit and active. You know, we're not all lucky enough where we live in beautiful places where the conditions are good every day. And I think it's important to stay active. And, you know, if you work at a desk or something, this is like something that you can take calls on. You can even be in like a team meeting with this screen that mirrors your phone. So you can exercise while you're talking in your Zoom meetings. I don't know if you can get away with that, but I'm lucky enough where I could do that with my job. But yeah, it's just like, if your aim is to really, you know, push it in the downwind foiling scene and set like bigger goals and targets, you got to keep on top of your game by exercising like this. There's no way around it. There's no cheating. You know, when you're out in the ocean like that, it's not going to be kind to you, and you got to be totally prepared for everything that it throws at it. And doing simple things like this, like exercising 30, 45 minutes a day with your stationary spin bike, I think that's it's perfect training if you can't get in the water. So I'm going to show you now. I'm actually doing a really long run from Maroubra to Wollongong. I think it's over 60 kilometers. It's about an hour's drive, maybe a bit over an hour's drive if you were to drive the highway. But by foil, it's probably going to take us, depends how good the conditions are today, but maybe 2.5 hours. Could be 3 if it's a shocker, or it could be 2 if you're as fast as Perth Standlick, one of the fastest guys in the world who I'm going with today, luckily. But yeah, I'm going to dive into a bit of hydration and prep for a long run like this, because this was actually one of the biggest first runs that I did, and I was totally undergunned for it. I had issues, I cramped up. I've done it since and I've had a really good run. But yeah, I'm just going to show people that are wanting to push into that realm what I do to prep, safety, food, good night's sleep, kind of run through all the things that probably maybe people aren't thinking about, but for me now, it's kind of, from my experience, I've learned a lot, and I only learn from my mistakes, so I'm happy to share it in this film. Okay, so it's the day before the big downwind, and it's always good to prep. One of the most important things is your hydration and your fuel for your journey. Basically, there's a million different products out there, but the main thing is that you need electrolytes in your camel pack. Water does not hydrate you enough for the exercise or the amount that you're pushing your body. So there's a million different brands. I've got one here. You got to make sure that you got the right ratio. So you got to work out as well how far you're going, how long you're going to be out there, and make sure that you got enough of the supplement in the water. Because if you've got it wrong, your body will not handle it and you'll cramp up and you'll be exhausted. So for me, this is a 60 kilometer run. I'm roughly going to be running probably at like 26, 27 kilometers an hour. So it should take me just over 2 hours to do it. For me, I'm going to take 2 liters of water. I'm going to drink a lot of water before I go, with electrolytes in it to make sure that I'm hydrated at least for the first hour. And then the second hour, I'll have water that I can sip on. The reason why I'm doing it the day before is because I want this icy cold. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 30 degrees Celsius, which is bloody hot. And this being icy cold on your back is going to make the difference for the first 30 minutes where you're not going to be too overheated. So let's put it in the freezer and see how we go. my shocks, brand new for Christmas. My wife got them for me. These are excellent for communicating, listening to music. The safety feature, I guess, is you're able to call people on the fly or receive calls on the fly, which is huge, amazing. And then we got the sun shirt. Very, very key clothing equipment. This is Follow, Aussie brand. You know it's quality when it just feels amazing on your skin. You know, high vis is better, but right now I've just got this. And then I've also got my Fractal trail running hat, which I freaking love. Look, just chuck it on. Chuck this little hook over it. It covers up my shock earphones so you don't get as much wind when you're listening or you're receiving a call. Stealth, covers your neck. Ready to go. Chuck the life jacket over it, and Bob's your uncle. Love it. The old Vycobi jacket, the original. Still going strong. I think this is the V4 or something, the newest one. It's got extra pockets. It's just a bit more ergodynamic. It's great. Got my Kahoe leash. I love the waist belt. That's my go-to. All right, and we're off. A little bit of a later start than usual. It was forecasted to be windy by midday. However, like normal Sydney conditions, the wind still hasn't filled in yet, but we're kind of just rolling the dice on it. Probably at the moment it's only like 12 knots. It's supposed to be over 20. There's just white caps out there. So the plan is now to go to Cronulla because that's the last safety point to get in before it's like a no fall zone. So yeah, we're just going to play it by ear, see how we go. If we're feeling good, we're going to go the whole way. If not, we'll come in at Cronulla and it'll be a bit of a slog. But yeah, number one thing, safety, life jacket. I've got the dye. That's what my friend Gav, who works in the helicopters, said is the most important thing when a helicopter's looking for you. You know, I've got my 1.5 litres of water with electrolytes. I've got a gel in case, you know, maybe at an hour I should have some energy like that, some carbs. And then hopefully by then the wind's filled in and we're good. But yeah, I'm going to just jump off the point here. I luckily live right near the ocean, so I'm just going to jump out, paddle out to the wind line, and then just send it. And hopefully with my shock earphones, Perth can call me or I can call him and we can see where each other are and hopefully cross paths. But fingers crossed this wind fills in, but that's the downwind anxiety, baby. Alright, I forgot to mention that it's fucking 35 degrees today, so I'm sweating bullets. I just shared my location on WhatsApp and on Apple, because sometimes WhatsApp location bugs out. And I've also let the lifeguards know at my local beach that I'm doing this run, so they know that I'm doing it. But yeah, just about to jump off the rocks and start it. All right, we're off, and we're just past Maroubra, a fishing spot called Yellow Rock, which is like a huge vertical cliff into the ocean. It actually attracts a lot of fish and it has shitloads of backwash. So I just got past that point, just gave Perth a call to see where he's at, and I think he's only a kilometre behind me, so he should catch up to me soon. But right now it's getting good. Like before it was super like east, it felt like the wind bumps and the swell, but now we're past all that refraction. I can feel like I can cut out to sea, which should give me a straight line to Wollongong. We'll check in soon. Honestly, get to know your gear, because This is the first time I've worn this life jacket in a while, and I must have put on weight because the fucking thing's that tight on me. So I got it open and it's just bouncing every time I pump, which is fucking annoying, which is not what you want for a long distance, but that's what I mean. Have your shit sorted before you fucking do shit like this. All right, we just went past the famous Owls, the slab surf break that I grew up surfing. It's pretty cool because on our southerly run here, when we go from Maroubra to Palm Beach, I go past the famous Deadmans as well. So we're pretty lucky on this stretch of coastline. We got, you know, during winter, we got whales popping out everywhere. And then now in summer, we've got, I think I just seen a turtle before and a little shark. But I still haven't seen Perth. He's called me twice now saying he's near me, but I keep looking around and I can't see him. But it's a big ocean out here, so I'll keep an eye out. Typical planning that goes bad. My shocks have no battery, so I'll show you how I'm calling Perth. I'm literally just going, hey Siri, call Perth. And like usual, it doesn't work. So I got to unlock my screen, put in my code, and physically touch Perth. It's calling. I'm just going past Voodoo. Where are you? I'm going past Voodoo. All right, I think maybe I'm more out than you. I can't see you out wide. Look for me out wider.
Whereabouts?
Maybe I'm out wider than you.
I think. Just behind it.
Okay. We are basically in the middle of the no fall zone, national park. There's basically no road access to anywhere for the next 30 kilometers. So, you know, mentally it's challenging, and to be honest, the conditions have been pretty shit. Like, it looked all right at the start, and then through Cronulla it went super light. Caught up with Perth, we had a few runs together. He's taken off wide, and now I'm kind of in close, and wind's starting to kick again, but far out. Like, this is my first long downwind in a while, and like, I think we're up to 40 kilometers and I'm gassed. I think the heat multiplied with probably not that fit after Christmas, because, you know, I haven't really been in the water. I've been eating and drinking, but this is tricky stuff. Thankfully the wind's doing what it's supposed to do now and pick up, but far out, I'm mentally fatigued big time, because your mind just starts saying, you can't do this, you can't do this, give up, but you got to push through it. So it's hard, it's definitely hard filming and calling people, and I'm gonna just concentrate on downwinding and make it, because there's no plan B. right, another safety tip. If you don't know landmarks and you're in a new location, plan it just before the run how far it is on Google Maps, and then listen to your Garmin watch when it calls out the kilometers that you've done. So I'm up to 44 kilometers and I know it's roughly 60 kilometers to the end. So when I start getting to 55 kilometers, I'm going to make sure that I'm close to land and that I've got a bit of an eye shot at my end location. So that's just a hot tip. All right, getting close. Put up the phone. I don't know if you can see that. Gonna angle this way a little bit and we should be good. All right, we made it, baby. About 2 kilometers from Thirroul. My legs are cramping so hard. Like, they haven't hit the point where it's like unrideable, but it's like every pump I can feel them going and like, you know, I'm trying to do the most efficient foiling. I'm actually trying to put my mind somewhere else. Like, I just got a call from Marcus and, you know, that call was like 5 minutes, so it was good to just completely forget about how sore my legs are and focus on the phone call. But yeah, coming into the finish, thank God the wind came up a bit after we finished after the national park. But that was a tough run, you know, only 60 kilometers, but my legs are cooked. Dedicating this one to my friend Muzzy, who passed away a few years ago around this time, and he was the one that pushed hard in all these types of triathlons and bike races. So this one's for you, brother. All right, YESOUL have been kind enough to give me a discount code for one of these bikes if you're interested. It's Josh2026 and I'm gonna put the link in the description of this video, so check it out.